Welcome to AJ Tutoring's YouTube channel. My name is Elizabeth, and I'm here to talk to you about the basics of the HSPT. But before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe for more great content. The HSPT is a test administered by the STS, and it stands for High School Placement Test. In a moment, I'm going to go over things in more detail, but if at any point you start to get overwhelmed or feel like you need some extra support in preparing for your test, please give us a call. We have a whole team of friendly, well-trained tutors who would love to coach you through the entire process. The HSPT is administered by Catholic high schools. You should plan on taking this test if any of the schools on your list are affiliated with the Catholic Church. If you have any non-Catholic private high schools on your list, you'll want to take a look at the ISEE or the SSAT. We have videos on both that we'll link below, but we typically recommend the ISEE. If you're applying to boarding schools, you'll need to take the SSAT. You register to take the HSPT through your application and you'll be assigned a test date. They're typically offered on weekends in December or January in the Bay Area. The HSPT is an incredibly fast test. Many students don't finish each section, so time management is crucial. This may also be the longest you've had to focus in one sitting, so you should take practice tests to get used to the endurance a test this long requires. Our preps include at least 3 proctored practice tests to help you practice the strategies, to build your stamina on focusing for a long time, and to expose you to the pressure of a testing environment. There are breaks included, but the break lengths and when they occur vary by school, so they're not in our chart. It's also important to note that the times we're showing are not for students with accommodations. You may be entitled to more frequent breaks, longer time, the use of a reader, or a calculator as part of your accommodations. Apply through the schools directly during registration. Let's talk through each section in more detail. The HSPT score reports are incredibly detailed, so we know they test on a wide range of topics. There are 5 scored sections on the HSPT, and sometimes an unscored writing sample. All 5 sections are multiple choice, and there's no penalty for wrong answers. In other words, you should always guess if you don't know or if you're running out of time. Let's start with verbal. This section tests your vocabulary skills. You'll be given questions that ask you to find synonyms or antonyms for a given word, questions that ask you to complete analogies, logic-based questions, and questions that give you a group of words and you'll have to identify which one doesn't belong. These question types are all mixed in together, so don't linger too long on any one question. Chances are there's an easier one coming up. The next section on the exam is the Quantitative Reasoning section. This has 4 question types. There are sequence questions where you have to figure out the pattern in a given set of numbers and apply it in some way. Comparison questions that will give you 3 different problems or scenarios and you'll have to correctly compare them. And these are both geometric and non-geometric. And then reasoning questions where you have to turn a sentence into a math problem and solve it. We have lots of strategies for this section and the mathematics section, so give us a call if you have any math anxiety. After quantitative comes reading comprehension. You'll start with informational and literary passages with questions that follow. The questions may ask about the main idea, supporting details, literary techniques, and vocabulary used in the passages, just to name a few. After that, you'll have 20 to 25 synonym questions again. The 4th section is mathematics. These questions can be word problems or straightforward computation problems and are often above grade level. The topics on this section are numbers and numeration, measurement, geometry, algebra, and statistics. There are a wide variety of possibilities here, and you're not allowed to use a calculator, so it's important to move through it confidently. The last scored section is language. This section starts with grammar questions. You'll be given 3 to 4 sentences, and you'll need to determine which, if any, has an error. The errors may be in punctuation, capitalization, or correct usage of parts of speech. Then you'll move on to a spelling section, formatted in the exact same way. Finally, you'll end with a composition section. This section is a bit scattered. It may give you different phrasing of sentences and ask you to pick the most logical. You may have to select the appropriate transition word. Sometimes you have to choose the best order to put sentences in, and there are many others. Students tend to prefer the composition questions to the grammar or spelling ones, so make sure you leave enough time to get to them. Finally, some schools end with a writing sample. The length and time requirements vary, so check in with your schools directly for more information. After you take your test, you can expect your score with your admissions decision. As with the rest of the test, the score report can be a bit overwhelming. You'll be given both national and local percentiles and corresponding stay 9s. Stay 9 means standard 9, so you'll get a score from 1 to 9 on each section. It's important to remember that a percentile is not a percentage. The percentile is how you scored compared to everyone else that took the test, not your accuracy. At the bottom of the score report, you'll also have ranked raw scores. This is where you can see how many of each question type was asked and how many you got right. You'll also get to see if your performance on that section was low, below average, average, above average, or high. The schools will use all of this information to dictate their admissions decisions and to place you in the appropriate courses if you attend their school next year. Prepping for the HSPT can be overwhelming. Like I said, give us a call at any point if you start to feel stressed or if you want more information and support. Our contact information is on our website linked below, and we'd be happy to guide you through the process, online, in-home, or in one of our many Bay Area offices. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.